Hey, what's up guys, it's Spencer. If you clicked on this video, you're probably like I used to be. You're going to the gym, or maybe you haven't started yet. You're a beginner, you're not making any gains really, you're not building muscle, you're not using heavier weight when time goes on, and you just feel like you're stuck, you're not going anywhere, you're not growing. It's just like, what's the point of going to the gym if it's just not for you? All of those excuses are gonna end right now. So everybody starts somewhere. I personally had like zero muscle when I started at the gym. I couldn't even bench the bar, which is only 45 pounds. So I started smaller. So if you're like I used to be and you can't even lift the bar, start with dumbbells. I started my bench press with two, I think they were like 15-pound dumbbells, like literally only benching 30 pounds. And I just really focused on my form. I focused on going slow with that weight and staying in control of it the whole time, using my muscle to its max. And I was able to add weight to that over time. And the way that you add weight is you have to track it. You have to track how much you're pushing. So I started tracking. I started applying progressive overload, which is when you add 1 more rep or 5 more pounds to an exercise every single time you do it. So if on Monday I came in and I did my bench press, and then I came back in on Thursday or Friday and I did bench press again, I was gonna do 1 more rep than I did on Monday, or have 5 more pounds that I'm pushing than I had on Monday. And I stuck with that. I stayed consistent, I was eating, and the muscle grew, and I was able to eventually go over to the bench press with the big boys and bench the whole bar, and then add weight and bench the bar with weight. And I'm actually currently, I'm up from probably a 30-pound bench press when I started to about 80 pounds for reps, and somewhere around 90 or 95 for a 1 rep max, which is pretty sick because I never thought I'd be anywhere near here. Another thing that's super important, especially if you're not seeing the gains and you're not building muscle, is your form. It's always going to be important, but especially in the beginning, you cannot compromise form at all. At all. What that means is you need to do your research on how exercises are supposed to be performed. You need to figure out how to brace your core before those exercises, because even if you're not using your core to move the muscle, to move the weight, you still need it to stabilize your body so that the rest of your muscles can work to their fullest potential. And you need to make sure that you're moving a weight that you can move and stay in control of the entire time you're holding it. You need to stay absolutely in control of the weight. I don't want to see y'all throwing it up and just dropping it. I don't want to see any of that. I see people do that at the gym every single day, and it makes me lose my mind. So how do you stop throwing the weight around? How do you stop trying to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, just going in, grabbing the biggest dumbbells you can find and just like, ooh. How do you stop that? You need to go in and you need to grab a lower weight than you're used to, especially if you're already working out a little bit and you're just kind of going through the motions, not really using your muscle, not really getting that mind-muscle interaction. You need to lower the weight. And then when you lower that weight, you're also gonna focus on good form. And you're probably gonna find at the end of that workout, where even though you're using less weight, if your form is way better, you're gonna be as tired or more tired than you would at any other workout. Part of form is also getting a really good mind-muscle connection. So say I'm doing a bicep curl. If I just go like this, I'm not working my bicep, not to its fullest potential. I'm using maybe like 20-30% of my muscle to lift this weight like this, and then I'm just moving really fast and I throw it down and then I sit around for 3 minutes. That's not doing you any good, bro. You want to have your bicep right here, all right? You're pulling that weight, you're feeling your bicep pull the weight, and you're feeling your bicep move. You're not using your shoulders, you're not using your traps, you're not like shrugging with it or anything like that. You're using only this muscle, so you're only bending at the elbow. You're feeling the muscle right here, you're feeling it contract, you're using your mind, which sounds dumb, but you're using your mind to focus on just this one muscle, and you're feeling it contract. It's like a flex, but you're carrying weight. And then when you stop at the top, you stop for a second. You feel it contract all the way, and you want to hold it for just a second before you start slowly letting it go out. And the reason we want to do it slowly is because this is like 4 or 5 seconds of resisting the weight, whereas this is just dropping the weight. You're not getting any muscle gain out of that. So that's half of your movement right there that you're not making any gains with, rather than if you did it nice and slow and you came up with your contraction and then you resisted the weight, still contracting your bicep on the way down. And then you're gonna feel a stretch like this when it's out. When the muscle is no longer contracting, you want to feel this nice stretch in your muscle. You're going to do that for every single rep that you ever do. No matter what muscle, no matter what exercise, pretty much you're going to look for that mind-muscle connection, and you're going to do it nice and slow and controlled. I also see a lot of dudes going in the gym and just absolutely killing themselves in the gym, and then they go home and they just eat like trash, and they think because they went to the gym that it's just gonna make magic muscles appear because they went to the gym, they did the exercises, whatever, you can eat whatever you want now. That's not true at all. Your nutrition is so important. I actually made whole videos on nutrition. But the way that you're gonna build the muscle is in the kitchen. You have to be eating all that protein, you have to be eating those carbs, you have to be eating that fat, you have to be making enough calories to actually grow. And the way that you're going to meet that is just by tracking. You can't figure out how much you're consuming unless you track it, even just for a couple of days to figure out where you're kind of at. You need to be sure what your macro goals are, and you need to make sure that you're hitting them daily. Don't rely on supplements. Supplements are just that, they're supplementary. You need to have a solid diet right here, you know, solid diet right here. Maybe you got a couple holes in it, maybe you don't like some foods that have great nutritional value and you're kind of missing on those vitamins. That's when you bring in a supplement. That's when you take your multivitamins. That's when you're taking your creatine, or if you aren't making your protein intake, that's when you can take your whey protein shakes. But you don't need that. I see so many people just like relying on supplements and thinking that like, oh, I spent $100 at GNC today, that means I'm gonna make big gains. That's not how it works. I wish it was. I wish I could take a bunch of pills and just have huge muscles, but I mean, it don't work that way, and it's not gonna work that way for you either. And lastly, just be consistent and keep going for weeks, months. No one in the world has changed their entire body overnight. No one in the world has had an amazing fitness transformation in just a couple of months. Fitness is a lifestyle. You're gonna have to change the way you think, the way you eat, the way you know, interact with food, the way you interact with your body. It's just, it's different. It really is. It's the only way to get like a sustainable, fit body that you're gonna love is through a lifestyle change. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you like this video. Check out my other videos on fitness and stuff, and leave me a comment if you like this video. Leave me a like and a subscribe if you like me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.